Hey guys, what's up? This is Matthew Davis meeting once again. Welcome back to another video game review. I know it's been a while since I've done this, but just stuff and all. But instead of it, instead of this being a review for one game, I decided to review a whole series, and that, of course, is the Mass Effect series. So I'm going to review Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, and last but probably least, Mass Effect 3. And you'll see why I mean least. Although I don't think it's a bad game at all. But anyways, let's get into it. So I decided to do it in one video because all basically it's just the whole game is a story. So everything follows with the story. Each story follows with they're basically the same story, just different chapters. That's the best way I can describe it. But Mass Effect Andromeda, I haven't played, but I've heard just like mixed things. I hear people say it's not a bad game. Some people absolutely cannot stand the game, but yeah, I didn't hear that much good things about it. And due to that game, they're probably never going to be making another game in the series again. But hey, you can't go wrong with Shepard. So yeah, anyways, so let me talk about Mass Effect 1. So basically the entire series is, of course, you're this man or woman. You can play as a man or a woman. Oh, I thought the insert would be reversible. So you can like switch out. No, it's not this one. See, behind Mass Effect 3, there's a poster with the female on it. You can play as either one, and of course you run a ship, and you are the commander. I mean, that's honestly a stupid way to put it. And of course you have a team that you meet along the way, and they can help you throughout your journey. So with each mission, you can pick out at least 2 team members, so you can help save the galaxy. What I find really cool about this series is that there are multiple races, multiple species of aliens, or I wouldn't really call them aliens, let's just say races, okay? And they're all developed really well. Like you have Garrus, you have Tali, you have I don't know. I think there's someone named Lara. You have Joker, who is the pilot, and a lot of other very interesting characters. And I love how they help you on your journey, and you're not alone. And I truly admire that in the first game, how it basically started this series, and it both starts and ends absolutely super well. Although there are like some issues that don't really hurt the game for me, but for one thing, there's this vehicle section, and the control is just absolutely just awkward. Like, no matter how well that I drive it, I'm still going to be flying all over the place, and that's one thing that's just like it's not frustrating. It's just the control is just so poorly that it's a good thing that they took that out in the other games. Also, you have infinite ammo, and basically your weapons are basically the same, and which kind of makes it more like a cakewalk, in my opinion. It makes it like way too easy. Although, if you use your weapon way too much, it will overheat, and you have to wait till it's turned down in order for you to. Also, I think this might be because I got this used, but throughout my experience, there's been a lot of texture pop-ins, and those are basically like you know how people are designing, and they're designing like the stuff. Basically, here's the thing: the shading is just normal, and then the detail and stuff pops up seconds later. You'll notice it. You'll know what I mean if you don't know what texture pop-ins are, and also, the frame rate for this, it drops a little bit, like sometimes, mostly it's 30 frames per second, but luckily, that doesn't hurt my overall experience. The game never crashes, the game never gets so difficult that I just want to stop playing overall. All in all, to be honest, the story is a bit short. Like, when I beat the game, I only got like 10 hours. finished. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more stuff. There's a lot more stuff to do in the series, but yeah, I was really satisfied. Overall, this is a great game despite its flaws. Other than that, it has a fantastic story. It has great characters and some terrific development of the characters that never makes the game feel stale or dull or empty or two-dimensional. It's an absolute fantastic experience, and this is a great game to start off your career if you're starting to if you want to become a fan of the series. Now, the second game after, of course, starts after where you save the galaxy, and of course Shepard returns, and the returning characters, and oh yeah, I forgot to mention that this gives you a romance option. You can romance any of the female characters in this game, even the aliens, which honestly caused a lot of controversy back then, which was actually kind of ridiculous. If you're wondering who I romanced, I didn't romance anybody. I know. It's just that I don't know. I was trying to rush through the series just so I can. I felt like I rushed through the series too much, but maybe if I want to replay them, then I will. Then maybe I can just try romance. I mean, there's a lot of really awesome chicks in this. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I could literally romance anyone. And in the third game, or I think in this game as well, there is a gay option, but yeah, there's a gay option, so you can romance even a guy, or if you're a girl, you can romance a girl. So there's that too. A lot of people agree that this is the best one in the series, and I could not agree more. For one thing, you have limited ammo, and it feels like a third-person shooter. Although it's more of an RPG, like you level up, you can also, your weapons do feel a bit different. They look different, but they kind of look the same. But they're basically different weapons. They basically have like a stronger like. It's basically just like any other weapons you see in RPGs. It's just a lot of fun. The combat definitely is most improved, and it's very fun. And if you're not in for the story, I absolutely enjoyed the story a lot. Then the gameplay is truly excellent. Like they also the frame rate is a lot better too. Aren't as many texture pop-ins, and there's a lot more stuff to do. Like, I don't know, there's like 40 hours of content. I beat the game in like 14 hours without even having to do any of the side quests, mainly because I really wanted to get these games done. Because there was a time where I felt like I would never finish the first Mass Effect game. But for the second game, the combat works very well. It has a much better content. So that's the best way I can describe it. But yeah, also the ending was pretty satisfying all the way up until the third game, which I will talk about. Although, here's the thing, I was actually kind of nervous. I thought that I was going to get a really bad ending because all of my team members, most of my team members died. Like why was this happening? It might have been because I didn't like develop any like relationships with any of the characters, so they just died, or it might have been because I didn't romance anyone. I don't know. I'll probably have to look it up to see, but all in all, the ending, not everybody dies. At least for the ending I got. I still got a good ending, just I didn't like that. What is really cool is that once you beat the second game, the third game, uh, it can read your device that saved the last game, and it will basically follow your progress from the second game. So, like, the characters have died, won't be in this game if they're dead or anything like that, and which I actually find really unique. All in all, the second game is like one of the best RPGs like ever. It's very well paced. It's got much better combat. Still, characters are still as amazing as ever. It never feels like a 1.5. It definitely feels like a second chapter. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5. So yeah, it's worth every penny. Now the third game is the most controversial one, at least until the new game came out. But so yeah, basically this is the most depressing one. Let's just say that the first two are like action and like I mean this is an action game, but the first two games they do have a lot of emotion, just not too depressing. This one, however, it's the most emotional. It's just really upsetting to see the characters that you have bonded with uh, just go away, and you won't see them again because honestly, I have to agree with basically everybody on here. The ending was just like what? Why? That's the most confusing thing that's been happening since for years. Like we never actually knew why this happened. Even with the DLC, which I haven't played, some people are still not satisfied. However, does that mean that this is a bad game? Honestly, well, I'm not gonna lie. The story in this is still fantastic. And the new characters that we see in this are also very well done. And plus, what I love is that the emotion really hit me, and that's something that I absolutely found fascinating about this third installment, is that it really got me like tearing up when we see these characters go, and those final moments with them and stuff like that. Oh, and this one with I think Morden, yeah, it's pretty much a tearjerker. Like Morden is basically one of the most memorable characters and probably one of the funniest in the series, in my opinion. And to see him go, it's just like I wouldn't say it's a middle finger. It's just like pretty upsetting. But for the most part, this has by far the best looking one. And I could say it had a great finale, although those last like 20 minutes, yeah. At least when you're in combat, then it's fantastic. But then, here's the thing. I could just talk about the ending, but honestly, I could just make a video on the ending, but it's been 6 years since this game's been out, and you can already look that up. You can understand why. But I don't know. Oh yeah. Also, the Kinect sensor. You can use your voice to swap out weapons and command your characters what to do in combat, which I find pretty cool. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Also, those text boxes, so you can say so you can make out what you want your character to say, and you see the dialogue boxes. You say them out and without having to use the controller, which I find pretty cool. And I use that throughout most of the game, even though it did irritate me a lot. I mean, honestly, it wasn't. Of course, it wasn't my fault. It was the Kinect because Kinect back then had a lot of issues. But so yeah, all in all, this is a fantastic game. I thought it was a great third installment. It's just a shame that it could have ended on a high note, but nope, we had to get confused on a giant. This is basically still a giant cliffhanger, even though there wasn't really much to. I don't know. I haven't played the new game, so I don't know anything about that. But all in all, I still give it 4.5 out of 5. So yeah. All in all, I love this trilogy. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was very deep. You know, at first I didn't know like what to expect. I mean, I wasn't really good at RPGs, but after beating all three of these games, I just love the series now. I'm a big fan of it. Once in a while, if I were to play Andromeda, I would have to find it really cheap. I think it is now. Like if I get it used at GameStop, it's like less than $15, which is actually kind of hilarious. But I'll probably have to wait like another couple years because I still got many other games that I'm playing, and I don't want to waste it on a game that I know is probably not going to be that good. But thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's definitely been a while since I have done like official proper game reviews and movie reviews. But all in all, I'm still playing games. Like, I'm really excited for more games to come out, like Red Dead Redemption 2, Super Smash Brothers, Ultimate, Fallout 76, a new Spider-Man game, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. There's a lot of games that I'm probably gonna have to rent, um, because more stuff to do in life. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.